side?
Nothing special.
Nothing special. Bloody hell,
Apart from a victory on Hell Let Loose.
oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Good little cake, man.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, mate. It's good when you've got a proper squad and that. When you've got a proper squad following instructions, you know. It's better when like the command's active as well. So one of the best games where everyone was just from command all the way down, just had the job role. It was great. Okay, guys. Welcome to today's stream. It's the 7th of February. Let's see what we can get today. Let's see if we can get a bit of an easier day today. Yeah, because yesterday, I mean, I know we missed a beauty of a trade by like half a pip. So I know some of you caught it, which was nice. And then the second trade wasn't... I mean, it did push further, but we were aggressive with stops. So we did get stopped out a bit earlier, but it did actually push further down, which was nice, before coming back up. I can't remember where it was at, actually. It was I don't even know. Where was it, actually? Was it here? Can't remember. Can't remember, guys. So it doesn't matter. Watch the stream, yesterday's stream back. You'll see what trade we took yesterday. Okay, so let's get a top down done, eh? So monthly, we know the monthly is bearish, and we know this monthly's got a top wick. It's already done a top wick and it's tapped previous support. So realistically, this monthly is likely to come down to 1990. Well, I say this monthly, we should start heading down there, right? But it might take 2 months to get down, maybe, if it wants to. Top wick, and then flip to come to the downside. Okay, so that's what could happen. Obviously, we don't want that. What we want to see is we want this monthly to end up closing below. Then we're into this range. We should be coming down in 1843. Okay, but at the moment we are bearish on the monthly because the monthly's done its top wick, which is all we need. Weekly. Now this is where it's a bit tricky. This is what was going on about yesterday's. The monthly's bearish, but the weekly's bullish, right? And the monthly's done its top wick to flip to the downside, but the weekly's done its bottom wick to flip to the upside. So we've got a bit of contradiction at the moment. Is this weekly going to flip to the upside, or are we going to close bearish and get a wick fill next week, or what? I don't know what we're going to get with this weekly. But at the moment, this weekly can do anything. So we've got to keep an eye on that. Just be aware we're in a bit of an awkward zone at the moment. Now, we did have a daily close, and we did identify. I'm hoping you can start seeing these patterns. So when we say, okay, the daily's close respective, the next day should end up bullish. Look what's happened. We've ended up bullish. Not small bullish, but fairly decent big bullish. Now, where's the daily ended up? So, the daily is actually closed respected again. So we technically haven't had a breakout on the daily at all. So we're currently stuck in this range on the daily. So what's this next daily going to do then? Technically, this new daily should start coming back down. But that's not to say that's not allowed to create a top wick. It can create a top wick as big as it wants, but then should close doji or bearish and should start coming down with the new dailies until we break out. If we break above there, then yes, we're in the next range. We should be coming up to 2055. But we have to act upon what we see. And what do we see? Well, the daily is bullish, yes. So we've got the momentum to the upside, but we have closed respecting, like this one. So what does that mean then? Well, that means, are we going to get this type of candle on the next candle? So are we going to get one daily candle what pushes and breaks through the floor like that? Is that what we're going to get? Or are we going to get a doji, therefore we'll just consolidate today? Or are we going to break into the next range, a bit like these ones here? So again, we have to be careful. Now we need to look at these candles and go, okay, well these have closed respecting. Where did the push to on the wicks? So they tend to push to the next minor range, which is at 2044. So could we come up and see a tap of 2044? That would be the weekly flipping to the upside. So that would be tricky, because that means if it does flip like that, it's likely going to drive further. But that's probably what we could see coming back up to the upside. So this is probably going to be our target if we are taking buys. But we've got to be very careful, because the daily can flip to the downside at any point. Okay. Taking sells. So the weekly's bullish, the daily's bullish, close respecting. So the taking sells going to have to be off a smaller time frame, really. See if we can grab them 10 pips. So, because I mean the daily could come and give us a steeper bottom wick. How steep could this wick be? Price all tends to come back down to tap 2024. So could we see the daily coming down to tap 2024 and then flip to the upside, a bit like what the weekly done? We could see that, but it's unlikely because the weekly's already done the bottom wick. So I'd probably think this is going to start flipping to the upside. Okay, so we're going to have a look on lower time frames to see what's going on. So the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is currently in this range. Now the 4 hour is the worst around here, because all these levels are skew with. It's all over the place at the moment. Your 4 hours tend to tap 2036 and then come back down. So how far did they come back down? Yeah? 2 seconds, guys. I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Taylor's waiting for a taxi, did not very well. Okay, so yeah, so the 4 hour is bearish. We've had a bottom wick. So the 4 hours closed with no bottom wick. So technically, this 4 hour should create a bottom wick, which it's done, and then flip and close bullish. So if we're going to get a bullish closure, how big's this bullish closure going to be? Is it going to be similar to the size of what it is now? Is it going to go doji? Is it going to go bigger bullish? We don't know. The only thing we can look at is look at the 4 hour and where's it closed. But these ranges are all out of place on the 4. It's really hard to find the range. I mean, you've got a minor support here. But price all bombs through that. Okay, let's have a look at the 3. So the 3 hour, again, it's bearish. So you've got your 4, the 3, and the 2 must be. That 2 is bullish. The 1 is closed respecting. Okay, when we close respecting here on the 1, what does that mean? Are we going to come up to grab some liquidity at 2037 in order to come down? Why haven't we drove here? Do we need to come and break these highs? So we came up, we tapped 2037, we pulled back to 2031. Could we see a pullback to 2031? Let's mark this up as 2031 level. The one I was given a bottom wick. Do we have to break the highs to come back down? For our... It's now going on at the minute, guys. I think we need some more candles to print. I mean, look. So it's broke the lows. So it's grabbed liquidity. Why is it came out like this and grabbed liquidity? And now it's broke. Oh, 2 minutes, guys. Don't tell us very well, that's the issue. Yeah? Sorry again, guys. It's not looking very well. She gets what she's disabled, see, so she can just get ill like that. Just before school as well, typical. Anyway, so we really need to see what this hour is going to do, because this hour is close respecting. So are we going to get a bearish close on this hour? If we get a bearish close on this hour, we can potentially look for a wing back sell back down. So if the new hour pops out, come back down. I don't know why. I don't like this. Why has it done this? You're only going to pop out like this to push and break the highs. No top wick. Because if this 4 hours likely going to close bullish, So that means it's already done a steep top wick. It's already done a bottom wick. So this fours, I can't see it's moving much. I think it's just going to mess about for 2 hours and close like doji or as it is now. And if that's the case, I mean, if it flips and drives, we wouldn't be able to get into it anyway because you've got no bottom wick on this. So it could flip. It could flip for the first hour, and the last hour could just pull back and close doji. So now, if so happened we can get down to 2031, we can't really take this wing back by because the 4 hours bearish, the 3 hours bearish, the 2 hours bullish, but then does the 2 come back down? Are we going to get this? Two-hour close, pull back to 2033. Could we take a wing back buy from 2033? We can because the hour's close respecting. We're going to have to wait for this hour, guys. I can't do anything at the minute. I need to see if this hour is going to break out above or close bearish. If it closes bearish, then we're more likely to come back down. But how? I don't know whether we're going to drive because the 4 hour has got no bottom wick and this 4 hour has already done its top and bottom wick. So I can just see this forward just consolidating to like for the next 2 hours, which I don't know whether we can get in. I'd have to have a look on a lower time frame, see if something plays out for us nicely. 15. No top wick. No bottom. You can't even take the buy because the hours close respected. The 30's broke out, but then you've had a fake out on the 30. So we've had a fake out on the 30 back into the range. So if you got a 30 close below that, what does that mean? Where do the 30s come? Well, they all come to... They don't tend to just break, they tend to just pop straight down. So is this 30 going to come back down to 2032? Or are we going to get this where you tap 2033? So are we going to power through on the 30? Or are we going to tap 2033 and pull back? We're likely going to tap this, but this is very difficult taking. But it's probably going to work out. So I can see us tapping 2033 and pulling back up. And that's just the 4 hour doing this constantly. It's just going to bounce in between these zones. This is what I can see happening. I might be wrong. I'm hoping we don't, so we can get some volume and direction. At the minute, we've got no direction at all. You know, the weeklies, monthly's bearish, weekly's bullish. The daily is bullish, but closed respecting. The 4 hour is bearish, but no bottom wick, so it's going to end up bullish. The 1 hour's bullish, but closed respecting. There's contradictions on every time frame. And when it's like that, we just have to wait for price to move out. I think if we wait for this hour to close, I mean, what we might get though is an hour closing in and around this area, which will mean nothing. It will literally mean nothing. It means you can just fly back up. But if we can get an hour bearish close respecting 2034, okay, an hour bearish close respecting 2034, what we could do is off a lower time frame take buys above 2035 at that point, because the way you'd look at it is this hour, if this hour closed like that, it means there wasn't enough liquidity here to break this level and close below. So therefore you know you need to come back up to break this level. So what we can do is on the new hour, we'll take a smaller time frame break above these levels. So as you get a break above here, we could take a smaller time frame break above, come in, take partial move to break even, because you know that's where it's going to come. But you should be coming to fill the range like that. So that's what we can do, but that's if the hour closes respecting. If this hour closes like this, say, as it is now, there is a potential wing back buy back up, but I can't take it because the hours, could we take it? Nah, I can't take that. I can't take that, guys, because you can bomb through. Now, if the hour closes below, I'm trying to think if, because we've already tapped 2032, so we've already tapped 2032. Let's get rid of this. So can we tap it again? If we get an hour, so we could be looking at something like this maybe. Came back up. So I'm trying to, basically what we're trying to look for now is where price has done similar in the past. So we come down, we tap 2032, we come back up, we tap 2035, then we shoot off. Now the issue we've got here, we're coming from the upside, then a pullback. Are we going to just come back down? It'd be nice if we can just come back down to 2024. But we'd need an hour close. If we can get an hour close below the lows, it should be fairly straightforward then. That means that the 4 technically should flip and drive back down, disregarding that the previous one's got no bottom wick. Let's see, if you get a forward close in there, is that what could happen? Well look, you close respecting this. You close respecting this, so no, it doesn't. You sort of come back bullish. Doesn't drive. This one does. This one does, mind. This, I mean, it taps all the way back up to, breaks the highs one more time. I think we need to see what this hour's going to do at least, because this might be sucking you in now to take sells, but just be very careful of this 4 hour. Previous data shows us that when you respect these levels, even when you respect beyond it, you can close bullish. It's rare that you drive straight through. Now to drive straight through, what do we need? We need liquidity. Do we need to break the highs again to drive straight through? And if so, if we can get an hour bearish close, ideally breaking these lows, then we'll look for wing back sells back up. But then we'd have to be careful of the 4 closing bullish. Might as well go. We need some more data here, guys. Sometimes it gets like that where you just need more data. We can't currently read the chart at the moment because we need more data. We don't know which ways it's going. Now, where do you think it's going? Where do you think it's going? What do you think's happening here? Are we going to come back up to tap 2037? Which it does tap a few times, to be fair. Up, back down. You power through it. Are we going to power back up to 2044? Is that what we're doing? And if that's the case, can we just get a wing back buy on? You can't, because the hour's closed respecting. But this hour could easily flip to the upside. But what if we just take a 15 break back above? If you get a 15 break back above here, what happens to price? If you get a 15 break above, you should be coming at least a high. What about a 5? Because the 15s tend to power through. Got to do, yeah. Look at the 15s, the fly through. So is this just this pullback what we're getting here before coming back up? Let's have a look at the 5. So I mean, if we get a close back above 2035, what would that mean? Five in. It's likely going to come through to 2037. Okay. Mark this up. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. 2 seconds. Came up. Are we going to come to 2031 before coming back up? Five close. That's potentially what we can look at, but the candles have got to print right for us. If we come back up above 2034, 2035, we could buy up, because if you do come back up, you're going to want to break this high, therefore you're likely going to tap 2037. And if we can see price struggling to break like these lows here and respecting, we can maybe take a wing back buy back up off a lower time frame. But we've got to see price struggling. That's the thing. What's this here? Come straight through. Levels around here. You tap it. We're a bit further down, aren't we? Because is this hour going to pull back? That's what we're saying. Now, if this hour breaks the lows, how did the 30 close? 6 minutes 30 close. Okay, let's see where this 30 closes. Because this 30 can bomb straight through the floor. But there's a strong resistance at 2032. So are the 30s going to tap 2032? And if it doesn't tap on this 30, is it going to tap on the next 30? And if it's going to tap, is that the forward flipping to the downside to drive? Or is that to fake out to the downside to come back up? I mean, do we need to break the highs again? Likely need to break the highs again, but this has done a liquidity grab here above these levels, so there's enough to probably get past this, but to drive, I'm not sure. So can we tap 2031 on this 30-minute candle, which I would prefer? Or this 30 closes, these, let's have a look at the trending structure. You have got another 30 range here. So if this 30 can close respecting like this, and we get 130 pop down for a wing back buy back up, and even if we can get it back to there, okay, let's have a look. When the 30s drive down, 30, you still come back, tap, still come back. So we need to have a look what price does even when it drives through. So tap, back up. This one comes straight through. This is what we don't like. So we ideally don't want a 30 close below. Want to close and respect him, because the next 30 can literally come all the way through the floor. I mean, what is that? It means we're going to have stops below that. Look, another one has done it again here. I don't know if I can take that, guys. I mean, we haven't tapped 2031 yet, so do we need to tap it, pull back? 30 close below, came back. 30. This 30 has to close respecting 2033.08. You could have got out a break even there, I suppose. Could you take a second entry? Second entry could be like that. I don't like these, guys. I mean, it plays out, but it can just really shoot through the floor here. I'd have to have a look on a smaller time frame, really. Down, back up. I mean, they do all tend to play out. 30 close, broke out as well, still came back up. Down, back up, down, back up. What's a 30 looking like? So is the 30. If we can get a big pushing candle, probably want to see. I'm just worried with a 30. Because even if this hour wants to drive, if this hour closes bearish, the new hour should pull back anyway and tap previous support. So I'd ideally want this hour to tap it. Or do we just wait for an hour close? Because if the hour does close below there, it should be driving down. Interesting, because we're bullish on the 2, we're bullish on the 1, bullish on the 2, bearish on the 3, bearish on the 4, but we don't know if they've closed respect, and this is the thing, this 4 could easily just drive down. I can't take these, guys. This 4 has already done a top wick. This 4 could easily drive, and if the hour closes below, we'd be looking at wing back sells coming back down, or would we? We need an hour close below here, really, if we're going to take it. But this will probably still play out, because the new hour should pull back. Very tricky at the moment, because we've closed respecting these levels, and look what the hour can do. It can really drive all the way down to 2027. So is this hour going to drive down to 2027? So if that's the case, could we not sell down? 15's closing. If we get 30 close below, it's got to be enough pips though. If we get a 30 close below, like it looks like we are, and we get a wick on it, and we get a pullback, and we don't tap 2030 to 31, we can potentially take a buy stop, sell stop below. Got to break below though. gonna, is it? Or we could take a wing back sell. That's no good, that, like. That's no good. We haven't broke the lows now, but, I mean, do we need to break the lows, really? It's coming down there. Why is it coming down here? It's coming down here to break these lows. Simple as that. So if we can get a top wick, and I can rule out this fake out back to the upside, but it's more likely it's going to drive down to 2031. But I can't get in on this, guys. Not at the minute. I'm more for the wing back buy back up, because the hour is still bullish, and is this hour going to flip? And if it's going to flip, it means it's going to flip on the next 30. The 30 is going to be the one that makes it flip. But does the 30 need to tap 2031? Well, it looks like they all tap 2031, then flip. Sorry, these are the hours, aren't they? So you can even get an hour close out there and then come back up. What's the 30 done? So the 30 is closed below. So it means the new 30 can come down, tap 2031.5 to come back up. But the 30 hasn't broke this low. So there's a chance it might flip back up to the upside. To come back up. So could we take this wing back? What is this? It's just the only thing I don't like is the 4. Look at the 4. It's done its top wick. Might not come back up. I know this one's got no bottom wick. No bottom wick. But is that because we've had such a bullish push? This was actually enough liquidity to now drive all the way back down. And if it is, it's not going to come back. So if we take a wing back buy from 2031 and this 4 decides to power through, which we know it can come all the way down to 2020 levels. Look at these ones as well. Straight through. This one, straight down. Very tricky. Very tricky. There's too many contradictions going on for me at the minute. And I'm going to have to wait for an hour close, guys. Even though this is likely going to play out at 2031 back up. But I just can't take it. Can't take it. If you're taking it, good luck. Hope it plays out for you. But I'm going to wait for this hour close. I want to see what this hour close does. Okay. I'm going to go and make me latte. Who's on the call? Bren. Good morning, Bren. Good morning, Mikey G. Sophie. Good morning. Dan. Callum caught his pips yesterday, so you just need to come back on today. Catching that first trade. Yeah, just be careful with this. Just be careful, because the 4 can flip and drive now. This is just the full pullback, and then flip and drive. But we need to rule out the 4 flipping back to the upside, because this has got no bottom wick, and that's what tends to happen. Not all the time. That's what tends to happen. Okay. The 4s are all over. I hate the range on the 4 where we are. So let's talk about if we get an hour close below here. Again, you're probably tricky. You'd need an hour close below 2031, ideally. But what we can do, if you do get an hour close down here, we could look for a wing back sell. Because you're now bearish on the hour, you see. You're bearish on the 4, you'll be bearish on the 3, you'll be bearish on the 2. Well, an hour later, you'll be bearish on the 2. Then you'll be bearish on the 1. So that means you'll have the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 1 all bearish closes. Then we can look for wing back sells or breakouts to the downside. But at the minute, we've got far too much contradiction going on. But Let's see if this hour closes, because if this hour closes respecting 2031, this is where it's tricky as well, because you can also then pop down, tap the next zone and pull back and even flip to come back up. So this is why you need a close below that to clear that range out. But where is, you can just power straight down here, guys, so just be careful, don't get any FOMO. You can actually just really bomb through these ranges. Good morning, Farhan. I mean, you've got to remember there's no top wick on this 1 hour, so will price need to come back up to create a top wick? Because the 4 now powering, power. So it's hit that zone now. Let's see what it does. Just whether the momentum of the 4 is too much to, is it going to push straight through? We've got forward close in 1 hour 23 minutes. I would like a forward close respecting as well, because if the forward close respecting, maybe that'll be the one what pops down, taps, comes back up. We're not buying, mate. No, we did have a potential wing back buy on where we're at now, but I'm not taking it because the 4's done a top wick and it's flipped to the downside, so the 4 can easily drive. But the 30 minutes do look like it does play out at 2033, but the 4 can easily just fuck it off if you like. So it's just too risky. Too risky. Because remember, we get one stab at it, we're going to run into no man's land here. There's bombs, bullets flying about. You don't want to run in loads, do you? You want the perfect clearance to run into it. And that's what we're waiting on. Now, if this hour can reach down to 2027, then potentially yes. And why do you think the wing back buy could be on at 2027? It's unlikely it'll get down there, but if it does, why do you think it would potentially be on? Well, the reason it could be on, because the reach of this 1 hour at that point be very big, so it's likely going to retrace back to at least 2031, and then close with a bottom wick, and then the new hour would likely give a top wick anyway before coming down. But it's unlikely that this hour is going to do that. But if it does, then yeah, potentially we could get that on. But also the hours can just bomb straight through. It's just not a nice area. We need to come back down, really. We need to get back down. Get back down into these levels. Because if the daily is going to drive down, it hasn't had much of a top wick yet, and you haven't tapped 2045. So do you need to tap 2045 before coming back down? Because even these ones here, close respecting, you came up. Close respecting, you came up, you tapped 2045. So is this daily going to flip to the upside to come and tap 2044 or 2045? And if that's the case, is this 4 going to close? It's because the 4 hour ranges are so... I don't know if this 4's closed respecting. It's like you've got a range here where I'm at now. So if we close respecting that, what would be perfect is a fake out to the upside. So let's say we get an hour close like this, and you get their new hour closes back above. That would be fantastic. It'll just be a case of a bottom wick or buy stops up to come up for the daily. But it's tapped that wing back area now. So I don't know if he's got in on that, but it's not for me, that one. I want to wait for the hour to close. It's looking like it's going to play out. Or if we can see price struggling here, respecting this level around here, then we can maybe buy back up. See if this plays out for you. Going to make a latte. Guys, I'm going to just go and quick make a brew. We're going to wait for this hour close. And then we'll sort of go from there. Alright? I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Where's my slippers? Oh my god, what's happened here? Did anyone catch it? Did anyone catch it? So that is that the 30 then flipped. Oh, is this hour gonna flip? Someone would have been in that. Good morning, Paolo. So, look at the 4 hour now, guys. Always keep your eye on the 4 hour, what it's going to do, because just see if it is going to close bullish. Now, if this 30 closes like, well, the hour's going to close. So, if the hour closes, are we going to get a wick fill on this new hour? Therefore, are we going to come back down to tap 2031? Where do we want this hour to close? So if we get an hour close, and if we can get a top wick to break the highs, we could potentially get sell stops underneath, or could we take a wing back? I think the only wing back areas we've got really is like up in 2040 maybe. Unless we come back to tap 2037. Do we need a tap? Do we need to do this? Before going. Let's see how this hour closes. Because what's the 4 doing now? So what's the 4 going to do? Does that mean the 4 is going to close bullish? Or is the next hour just going to open up top wick and drive to fill? Is that what's going to happen? If that's the case, that means the 4 is going to close bearish. Does the 4 need to come down? I mean, the 4s do tend to come down to tap. 2029 maybe? Even further? Can we get a top wick? Very tricky. Tricky. See, even if you get an hour breakout like this, you got to be careful on these ranges. Look, you can just close back in with the next down and get a fake out. So this could just be a fake out to the downside to come back up. So what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Don't want to have to wait for the 4. But the 4 looks like it's closed respecting. So what's the 4 going to do? We know the 4 can actually power down, but is it going to happen with this hour? If this hour can close below 2033 and we get a top wick and we come and tap 2037, you can potentially get a wing back sell on. But if we come up to tap and break the highs without creating a bottom wick, we could also get a sell stop on coming back down to tap 2031 again. And we're hoping at that point we're going to drive through to the next area, which is 2027. If the hour breaks the lows. Okay, that's probably what the only thing we can sort of go off at the moment. I need a top wick though, guys. Gotta have a top wick. Gotta have a top wick. 50 for a close. So if the hour closes back in, are you going to come back down, come back up? Because we're more like that in the hour, really. That would make more sense. Come down quite a lot, but we need to work out if we need a steeper top wick before coming down. 10 seconds for the close, guys. I mean, do we need to come back down? 15's close bullish. Bearish. Oh, this is tricky. I mean, look at that price, so you do tend to come and tap a few times. But you've had an hour break to the low now. So we really need a top wick now. The hour's closed. We need a top wick. Breaking these highs at 20.35. But it might not do it. Do we need to break the highs? I need to break the highs because I want to rule out the 4 hour having any chance. Closing bullish. We could just drive here, guys. Could get a wick fill straight back down. With the 5s. And what if we get a 15 close below that? Going straight through, doesn't it? Close through. 15 close through. 15 close through. Okay, we could potentially take a 15 close. Okay, if we get a 15 close below and potentially sell down to 20.30, which would make sense if the hour gave us a top wick anyway, comes back up and then flips, the 15 would initiate the move. But the 15s can push quite a lot through this range. What if we took a 5? I don't think the 5 would work. You'd have to be very careful off a 5. If you get a 5 close back below 20.32, what happens? 5. Do carry on. 5. Pull back. How big is this range? Yeah, you get a couple of fake outs, like, so we want to avoid these fake outs. Probably the 15, but the 15 might drive straight through. But we're getting a pullback anyway, aren't we? Okay. I might just wait for that 15 to be fair, because I know these hours, because this hour hasn't broke out technically, it's closed like this. So it means, are we just going to fly up? And this is where it's hard taking buys now, because you're bearish on every time frame. So it's very... But we could potentially, if we can get a 15-minute close below 2032.67 and we get a top wick, we can potentially get a sell stop on to come down to tap 2030. Let's go this a bit closer like there. But we might not get it. Now I'm trying to see where wingback sells could be. How far is this hour going to pull back? When you get an hour close like this is the only area really what the hour can pull back all the way to 2036. So let's mark that up. But that was already done it. So we came down, we tapped it, and then we came up to 2036. So we've already tapped it, we've missed it. Now it's come back down. So we missed it, it's come back down, tap 2032. Now technically we should be coming back up to tap 2037. So could we take a wing back sell from 2037? If that's the case, I'm going to get a fake out on this. So what if we got a 15 close bullish and then a bottom wick? Sucking us in here, guys. So basically this hour could come as far as 2037. Now we potentially can sell from there back down to tap 2035. That's what it looks like it does here. 30 comes up, taps, comes back down. So we need to have a look at previous data if that's what it does. But you've also got areas like this where you can just absolutely bomb straight back up. This one played out. I mean, what is that? 9, 10 o'clock. 12. It's not even used that. I mean, that would be perfect. Up, back down. Up, back down. Tap, back down. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Up, back down. You mess about. What is this range? How big is this range? 18 pips, that's not bad. Where would stops need to be? Stops would have to be above here. $86 pips, not too bad. Okay. Up. Comes back. I have to go that little bit further, guys, unfortunately. Just roll these out. Back down. So this could probably work out, this 2037 for a wing back sell. Even if price wants to drive up, so we're down in these levels now, yeah. So even if price wants to drive up to these levels, look what happens. You tap 2037, you come back, you test 2035. You test it a few times to be fair, but and then you drive back up. So even this one would have played out even if you broke above. Yeah, so I think we could probably do that. At the moment, we can now because the hours broke the lows, but here's the thing, it might not get down. Might not get down. Sorry, it might not come up to there, might just drive from here. We are after something like this on this hour, straight back up to tap 2037. So we sort of need to see price struggling here. Now, what might happen as well though, you might come back down for another tap of that zone. That zone what we identified earlier on. These levels are 2031, so you might come back down for another tap of that before driving up. I'm just trying to think, if we do come back down for another tap, could we not just jump on that to come back up? The thing is, we don't need to come back up, it could drive. So that's the issue. What have we done? We broke the highs, we now broke the lows. So where's this 15 going to go? This 15's not doing anything. Do you know why we're not driving as much? Because we're in the last hour of the 4. This 4 is likely going to close bullish, because the previous 4's got no bottom wick. But so are we stalling? Waste time. 115 comes down, pops out, maybe a steeper bottom wick to come back up for the 4 hour to close bullish. Does that mean we could take a wing back from 2030? We probably could. Or even 2027. I'd rather this hour just pull them back, really. No. But if this 15 doesn't break the lows again, it's another sign in respecting this area, then we could potentially either take another entry at 2031 or another entry at 2030. So wing back buys back up, because what will happen is you'll see price struggling to break the lows here, and then one candle will pop out, break the lows, and that'll be the one more flips and drives. That'll initiate the move back up. But I was thinking, well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is that push out, but this one didn't carry on driving. So it can't have been. Unless we want to work our way down. Anybody caught anything this morning? 30's flipped. Likely going to come back up here, aren't we? Caught a cold. It is cold, like freezing actually. It is cold, but summer's coming, isn't it? We get our summers early now, don't we? Like April. It's always like red hot on my birthday lately. Last few years been scorcher. We're not driving anywhere. We're not doing anything. What is this how we're going to do? Is the 4 just... Do we have to wait for a 4 close before we move? Or is the 4 going to close bullish? Is it going to close bearish? Are we going to get back up to 2037? What are we doing? Because you've still got no top wick on this hour, if you think about it. This hour's still not got a top wick. So, was this enough liquidity to make this carry on driving? I don't think it is. This didn't even break any highs. So I do feel we need to come back up. We need to at least break this to drive down if we want to drive down. Otherwise, we would have carried on driving down now. Why are we not driving down now? So if we can get a pop down now, what are we on 30? I don't think you're going to get the pop down though. Little tip for you all guys, right? When you're looking for your setups and you're looking for your trades, if it's not obvious and it's not sticking out, then it's not ready. Setup's not ready. Yeah, if you're having to force it and go, okay, well, if we get this, or that looks like it's respecting, but could we get away with it? Or if you're just sort of forcing to get in on a trade, it's not going to work out good for you in the long term. Okay. It's got to really stick out and go, yeah, actually, this is bearish, this is that, this is that, this is that, fantastic, yeah, I'm in. Is this 15 going to break the lows? And then flip? Can it flip? Are you going to come back down to top 2031? You've closed respecting again on the 30, so it's going to suck me in this. For a buy back up on 2031. Because it does come down a few times. Look at all the times it taps here. Lords, what's this one? 15, 13. So is the 30 going to come down? You've got 15 minutes left of the 30. I mean, is this going to flip? Is this going to flip to the upside? We're likely going to get a wick fill on this hour, that's the thing. Should we just flick the Dean on? Should we just flick the Dean on? Do it, do it, do it. We're just waiting at the minute, guys, fortunately. Morning, Nate. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Morning, Pete. How you doing, mate?
Good morning. Is that Martin, is it?
It is, mate, yeah.
Hello, Martin. You haven't been on for a while.
I haven't, mate, no.
How's things?
Oh, all exciting stuff. No, we're just load of crap to do. Family stuff.
Yeah, that's it, man. Well, you know where we are, don't you?
Life, innit?
Yeah.
How you getting on, mate?
Yeah, good. We're just waiting at the minute. It's difficult. The charts have been difficult lately. It's, we only had 2 trades last week. It's like
Wow. Unheard of,
tough, man. Tough. It's definitely tough for people jumping on the stream. They're like, we rarely take a trade. We rarely take a trade.
Wow.
But yeah. So, and we're not in a nice range as well. We're waiting. We need more candles to print here, really. We've got some potentials. We did miss a potential, but it wasn't good enough for us, which would have played out nice. 30-minute wing back buy, but I didn't take it.
That's fair. Did Dan take it though?
Probably.
It's probably a bit more.
If it was Callum, probably Callum, yeah. Because Callum takes them all. We had a fantastic trade yesterday, but missed me by like half a pip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's
I know.
fine. There you go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so you can't have FOMO about it, can you? Just sort of crack on and do.
Oh, he's the hour flipping, the wick fill on the hour. So is this hour going to drive, or are you going to reject from 2031 again? What's going to happen? That means the 4 hours now flipping back to the downside, so... What is this? This 15 can easily fill this range down here.
Some big candles there, isn't there? With
Yeah.
long wicks. Oh, isn't it?
I know, but I need a pullback here.
Yeah.
I need a pullback. The only thing I've got on at the minute is wing back seller 2037, but might not even get up there. I'm hoping the new 4 hour can pop up. Do a little pop pop. Pop pop pop. I bet you're over the moon with the result. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, you're probably not, are you? Because Arsenal are up there now.
Do you know, to be honest, it was the best result for City, that was Arsenal.
Really? Who would you rather win it? Arsenal or Liverpool?
Win the what?
The league.
Okay. The league?
Yeah.
City.
No. Yeah, but if we know City's going to finish second this season. Yeah.
Oh, do it?
Yeah.
We already
So, yeah, that's what's going to happen, trust me. So, who would you rather, if you had to choose one, Liverpool or Arsenal, who would you choose?
Yeah, I was going to be rude, I would say that's like being and then being.
I know.
Chose between that, and it's.
I know it's a tough one, especially for you, Martin.
Do you know, in all honesty,
Yeah.
I'd rather you not win it.
Would you?
I know you.
We wouldn't know.
I don't think you can.
Nah, we can't now, really.
Just stand on the Scousers. And Arsenal are just a bit odd. They're celebrating like they won the league and they've just beaten a team, won a game of football. It's
Yeah,
a
I know.
long way to go.
I know. But, yeah, because, I mean, to be honest though, Liverpool are one of the worst teams for celebrating over the top. Like, when they're in your face and that. I remember when we played them at Anfield, and they scored in, like, the 98th minute, and there was, like, 5 minutes extra time. And they were, honestly, their physio and everyone were, like, in front of our bench, just going, yeah, screaming at them, like, staring at them straight in the face. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, I always remember that. So then, you can't then whinge about other teams doing it to you. When they're the worst team to do it. Klopp's the worst for doing that.
That is Liverpool all over, isn't it? You do whinge about what other teams do when they've done it already, but I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Like you say, if you've done it yourself, then it's hey boys, hey.
Yeah.
But that's Liverpool for you. They are protected somewhat.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's just because they're gobshites, really.
yeah,
The whinge and the refs and that can't be asked with them.
Yeah, they are. There is a definite agenda, and you'll notice this, because every time you are spoken about, you'll be prefaced with oil club
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's just like denigrating straight away. and it's never positive. Whatever they say is never positive.
Yeah.
I find it funny, mate. I find it
Yeah.
funny.
Well, I think you've got to be hated really, because that's when you know you're doing something right. Like everyone hated Man U because they won everything. Do you know what I mean?
I
At
was a
that
City fan,
time,
I didn't mind it.
didn't you?
No, because we weren't competitive.
Yeah.
How could I whinge about United winning it when we were at some points not even in the Premiership?
Yeah.
Can't whinge about that, can you?
True.
You
Like,
can say, yeah,
it's good
so
for the city,
like-
isn't it?
Yeah, it's good for the city. Someone's got to win it. At least from Manchester, and well, obviously not the fans aren't from Manchester. But, you know, the club is, well, it's not even in Manchester, it's in Trafford. But you get the point. It's Northwest.
Hey. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It does make me laugh, though. It does make me laugh because now a mate of mine who's a big red is whinging about this new guy taking over. And we've started to do what City did was move people about. So you lot who've been there for God knows how long, you're moving because we're going to put this section in and that sort of thing. And that's what City did. But it's basically organising stuff because it's not been organised for
Yeah.
20, 30 years, has it? I mean, that Meccano kit that's Old Trafford, oof, God, it's awful. Leaks, broken bits, you can see cracks on the outside.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's falling down, which is funny. Old Trafford is falling down.
Yeah, I don't think Ronaldo helped the situation at Manchester. But what he said, like, fair enough. I mean, they get paid a fortune. Why can't they just upgrade the facilities?
Yeah.
What about the owners taking loads of money out? So I do get that side. It's tough not being a United fan and seeing United fans rioting that when they're still competing. Because what it is, they used to get loads of media as well when all the United fans were rioting, right? And we still had Ashley. Do you know what I mean? If any club needed to do riots, it was Newcastle.
Yeah, but you would have chosen wearing a zebra Man United top with zebra pants, custom bought zebra pants, would you?
No, not really.
That was the funniest thing. I wanted him charged him because he was all over these. He never actually did anything.
What was he doing? Just wearing?
He was wearing white pants with black zebra markings on it
Why?
because he's a clown.
What was he? What was he trying to?
It was part
Represent?
of that, you know, when they went into Old Trafford,
Yeah,
out on the pitch,
yeah,
invaded the pitch when it was short and that stopped the Liverpool United game.
yeah.
He was one of them who did it. Absolutely, I don't know what it was called. Didn't go into it that much, but I just wanted him charged because it was funny.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't do because he didn't actually do anything. But yeah, they're just weird people who are entitled. I'm entitled to this because of X, Y, and Z. Well,
What?
no, you're not actually. 'Cause
Yeah.
you've got to win it. You're not entitled.
Well, they're
to it.
entitled because, well, they think they're entitled because they're born winning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're born when they start supporting that club. You know, it was at its top. Especially people at my age. You know, when we were
Oh, yeah.
kids, Man U were like the best.
Oh yeah. My kids are. So took me a few years because I don't go every game. Took me a few years to see City lose.
Yeah.
Because we went to European games and stuff like that. Obviously we lose against Tottenham and
Yeah.
another English team because of weird and wonderful things. But you know, they hadn't seen City lose,
Yeah.
and it's like, this is weird for me. City winning. This isn't the norm, and it's not.
Yeah. I mean, Emma has to go at me all the time. Every time we're going to play, I go, what do you think of the score? And we're watching the match. And I still do it now. I'm still like, oh, we'll get beat. 2-0, 3-0. Do you know what I mean? Because, and then you got to give your head a shake and go, actually, no, we're actually decent now.
100%.
You know, but...
I know you do it because it used to be. We bought McMahon from Liverpool, and he was just a guy who sat in the centre circle,
Yeah.
and they'd be spraying the ball out all over the show, and we'd be going, and then we'd pass it back, somebody would pass it out, and we'd be going in the crowd, boy, don't pass it back, don't pass it back. because we thought we were going to get scored against.
Yeah.
But
Got no
we-
confidence.
I mean, that was like Mark Hughes. No, before Mark Hughes. That. And it was like weird for City fans to look at it and go, wow. we've
Yeah.
actually played a bit of actual football.
Yeah.
But it takes time. It does take time to get used to it. Now, he's thinking, if we're in touch with the team at half time, we're going to win the game.
Yeah.
And it's rare that you don't, because Pep will do some little changes, and there you are, we'll win the game. Fantastic.
Oh, he does, like, doesn't he? He literally wins you games. I mean, look at against Newcastle.
Yeah.
He brought Kevin De Bruyne, and what was he called? That young lad?
Doku. Oh,
No, it wasn't Doku. It was
Bob.
who?
Oscar Bob.
Yeah, Bob. That was it. Both of them on. One assist, other one scored, and then the other one scored. It's like fucking nightmare.
It is fantastic, mate. Honestly, it really is fantastic. But you're not used to it as a City fan.
Yeah.
You're really not. And it's weird and wonderful times.
Yeah.
But long may they continue. Then we'll see.
We'll see. Just see what happens with your bloody fines and that. See if you get away with it.
I don't think it'll happen, to be
Oh,
fair.
no.
I really don't. I don't think they can prove it. It's just so hard to prove that the head of state has coerced company, international companies to give more money or to lie about the money they give them.
Yeah.
It's just like, hello, how can you say that?
Yeah.
It's a tough ask. Really, really is a tough ask. But you never know, because UEFA are now champion. They do want us to fail
Yeah, of course I do.
because we're not
Because
being able to.
you're not... City are not the top six. The original top six, City are not there. Do you know what I mean? And there is a click at that
Oh,
top. There is a click at that top. And anybody coming in to spoil it, obviously, you know, they're not going to be the greatest of fans. They're going to try and do everything in their power to stop you.
But it even comes to teams like AC Milan. AC Milan have won diddly
Mm.
for years. How come they're still considered the top two?
Yeah.
You know, they're not top of anything.
Dirty AC Milan. They knew about Tonali. That's why we got them so cheap.
Yeah.
Dirty.
You struggled there, didn't you? That was a
Yeah,
bit
mate.
nasty, wasn't
It's
it?
it's kicked us in the teeth this season, like with him, and then obviously all the injuries and that. It's just massively. But this season's done. It's gone as a write-off. Top
I'm really surprised though that you didn't go for
Phillips.
Phillips, yeah.
Mate, I wanted him so much. I rate him massively. He's like he's not as good as a Rice, but I do maybe not a box to box style, but he sort of defends like him.
He defends and he's got a great pass on him. He's more
Yeah.
of your, he's more of a six
Yeah, yeah.
than a sports guy.
But if I could pick anyone to play for us, it would be Rice. I think he's an unreal player, mate. And even off the pitch, his attitude and everything's spot on.
Yeah.
Like, he's not one of these fancy footballers. But he's box to box, man. He's just unreal.
Oh, he is. He's as a footballer, he is fantastic.
He was.
You got to appreciate good footballers.
Yeah, of course you do. As long as they're not knobheads.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Isn't it? He isn't courting all that crap, is he?
Yeah.
He's not in the papers all the time.
Not a fancy boy in like Rashford and that.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at me on my age.
Yeah.
Well, no, what? Like, you're a footballer. You get well paid for it,
Yeah.
which is, fair play to you. Our only one of that is our captain, who seems to be
Goalkeeper.
Night.
The goalkeeper.
No, our captain.
Was it Kevin De Bruyne?
No, he came behind not our captain. It's Mr. Walker.
Oh, Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
He's been a bad boy lately, hasn't he? Or something.
He has, hasn't he? Massive.
What I seen it. I don't watch the news really, but I just seen it on the front of a newspaper walking past the garage. Something about him. Was he cheating or something?
It was a one night stand.
And
He's
didn't he
got
have a
two
kid
kids.
with her or something?
Got two kids with her. That was a one-night stand.
Wait there,
His
one
kids-
night stand. He's got two kids, both different ages.
Yeah. You look yourself. Yeah, you want to revisit that to excuse me because that ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a one night stand. But you've got 2 kids with her, Kyle. One's 2 and one's 3. Yeah, it's just, you know, I've got super sperm, haven't I?
Yeah. Moped called him out on it as well and took the piss out of him.
Really?
And he kicked off. I said, well, you know, you've got... The world ain't going to sit back and go, yeah, whatever you want to do, mate, you go for it. You've been among them.
The thing is, though, right, Martin, this is where... If they weren't paid so much, people would change their attitude to, look, what happens in their personal life, let them, you know, it's to them. Do you know what I mean? Because it shouldn't affect them what they do on the football pitch, what they do in their personal life. But because they get paid stupid amounts of money, where it is, there's no reason for someone to get that much money. There's just no reason. Like,
I think it's on £280,000 a week.
there's just no reason. There's no point. He'd still be living the same lifestyle on 100,000 a week. The lifestyle won't change. And this is why I go back to the argument that there's no reason to have billionaires.
No.
Because
You can't stand tall, can you?
exactly, there's no reason for someone to be a billionaire. I think it's just, I mean, you should be capped at 999 million. Do you know what I mean? Because the lifestyle is no different from being a billionaire to 990, unless you're buying football clubs, I suppose. Like Man U.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, isn't it? It ceases to become money, and it becomes a measure of your success.
Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it?
So you're saying to somebody, look, mate, I've been in this game, and my company's worth X, and your company's worth Y. So I'm more successful than you.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a count as opposed to.
So you don't think it's greed? It's more like ego.
Yeah. It's, I want to be better than you. I've made X billion pounds from my businesses.
Yeah.
I'm in business. I mean, that Mike Ashley is he worth $1 billion?
Don't know. Worth a
He's-
fortune.
As a person, would you want to talk to him?
Not really.
No, you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't want to talk to him because he's not a positive person. He's not he doesn't do anything for anybody else.
Yeah.
Like Ineos guy, he seems to be a bit different. He does start doing things for somebody else. Well, fair play to you. You've got a load of money. So I'm not in the business of being jealous about somebody because they've got a load of money. Because I either work for it or they've inherited it.
Yeah.
You are the master or mistress of your own destiny, aren't you? So
Mhm.
if somebody makes a lot of money, happy days for them. But are they happy about it? I don't know. You're working that hard, you've lost your missus, your kids hate you. I mean, it's like,
I know what you're saying.
it's just like, wow, you've got all that money, but you've got no life.
Yeah.
And then you get cancer, like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
You're still in the same bed as the person next to you as a pauper.
Yeah.
Same hospital bed. You get the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm thinking, like, what are you going for?
Yeah. And he was meant to be a nightmare to work for.
Yeah, right, nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
That's it, man. But I do feel that that's why footballers can get loads of stick, because they're paid too much. Like, when you're getting all this money made, if you're not playing good on the pitch, I'll talk to you. Simple as that.
yeah.
Like,
Also, the knobheads as well, aren't they?
yeah, they are like,
They can be big knobheads,
yeah.
which don't help. Yeah, see, put the world to rights again, Pete.
Yeah. I'll tell you one player I used to despise, and I honestly felt, but he was a class player, but I couldn't stand him. I honestly felt he should have been sacked from football. Suarez,
Who's Suarez?
biting people.
Well, you know.
How can you bite someone on the pitch, not once, but twice, and still get to play football? You should be completely banned from football on
It
TV.
was an accident though, because he fell over and landed on some. That's all it was.
His teeth are that big, they dug into the back.
Oh God, it was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh, it was embarrassing, man.
What is that? Wow.
Yeah, I know. And do you know what else does me in it? Because I've coached kids since, I mean, how old was Mason when he started? 5 maybe? All the way up to 10, 11. And then I done under 17s and thing. And what happened is, and it used to knock me sick, seeing the kids. So if we go to a tournament or something like that, the kid would dive to try and get a penalty, even though they're one-on-one with the keeper. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're seeing it on TV.
Yeah.
And you're like, and do you know what? You'd have other coaches scream, well done, you should have hit the deck then. You should have went down. And I think that's a bad thing with football. They need to toughen it up, really. They do need to toughen it up. But because when the kids are diving and that, man, it's so cringy. So cringy.
But it's not think the parents are. I mean.
Well, it's the coaches, isn't it, really?
Oh, we played 1 year at football. Because like rugby does.
Yeah.
I've coached rugby for the same team from age of 6 to what I think they are 17
Yeah.
now. But in football, it was like bear baiting. The adults are there shouting,
Yeah.
come on this kid, come on that kid, go and smash him, you're the best. I'm thinking, if he's the best, mate.
Oh.
Trying to live their life through the kids, rather than allowing the kids to be themselves.
Yeah.
I didn't like football at all for that.
Yeah, it is. Do you know what it is? It's because the parents really do believe that their kid can make it. But the chances of their kid actually make it in professional football is the percentage is like 0.0001 or something. It's so small, right?
Yeah.
So just let them get on with it. Because mate, this is why I stopped the kids' football. Because the parents were a nightmare, really. Yeah, and then
all my kids play representative.
yeah,
And
and
kid can represent himself, mate.
yeah, the kids would put the parents would put their kid on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it-
not invest in the kid though. They wouldn't take the kid out to the park and play football with him,
yeah, I know.
or improve him, or just spend some time with him.
Yeah,
Take him to football. Some of them would just drop and go, and then they'd come back and say, "Why isn't my kid playing better?"
yeah,
Well, basically because you're a shit parent, mate.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's what you want to say to them.
But that's it. I mean, the coaches, mate. I mean, the qualification you've got to do to start coaching the younguns is it's an online bloody click. It's stupid. It's honestly, it's so you've got a lot of people. They're just volunteers, aren't they? Which is great because they're volunteers. You know what I mean? Grassroots wouldn't work without volunteers. But what happens then is you get dads who've never kicked a ball because they just want to help out. Do you know what I mean? Which is fair play to them, but they've never kicked a ball. They don't know much about football, so then he's telling the kids certain things, so they're learning the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you get that side, but the online course I done, mate, you done a word search on one of it, and it was just like, what the hell is this? It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. I coached that year that my lad played, because I can't sit on the sidelines and just watch.
Yeah,
So I decided just to warm up and stuff like that and get the balls and things like that.
yeah,
But the lad who was in charge of the coaching, he'd played football all the way through his life and knew what the hell he was doing. I
yeah,
haven't played five-a-side. I was agricultural at best at football. But rugby I can play.
yeah.
So coaching that, I'm quite happy with that. But rugby's turn, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very...
I wish I got into rugby, like.
Get into it. Don't get into it, mate.
Too old now, mate.
How old are you now?
36.
Vets team, mate.
Well, who's going to push my wheelchair?
Vets team's fun
Yeah,
because no one takes it seriously.
yeah.
Mind you, you're in Wales, aren't you? So they might take it seriously.
Yeah, they love it in Wales, like.
Yeah, it's...
Well, I say that, there's loads of English here. There's more English here than Welsh, I think. All Scousers and that, yeah.
A lot of Scouts, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of Scouts boys in North Wales.
Mm.
Yeah, go and visit your camps if not in Liverpool, be in North Wales.
Mm.
Angus is a nice part of the country, though, isn't it?
Beautiful. I'm moving soon as well. I'm moving to Kemys Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So, now,
beautiful, beautiful place. Holiday place, like, so it might piss me off a bit in the summer, but
yeah.
we'll see with the English. Can't stand the English.
Yeah, they all come in there, don't they? Hey, my man, would you like? Do you want?
Do you know what I used to be? When obviously I started playing, or started living here. Our lass is obviously Welsh. When I started living here, everyone would whinge about the holiday makers and the English, and I was like, "What are you whinging for, man? They're bringing money to the area." But as time goes on, you realise why. You realise why, and it's a number of reasons, loads of different reasons. Um, just so you end up starting hating them yourself because they're disrespectful. They're disrespectful to the area, litter everywhere, disrespectful when they talk to you. Uh, yeah, they take everything in the shops. Everything's gone out the shops. And another thing, everything shuts down in the winter here, so the locals, don't have much choice because everything closes down for the winter. Yeah, because it's just like a ghost town. You go to like Mulver and places like that, beautiful little villages, and it's a ghost town, mate. And all you've got all these houses completely empty. Yeah, but then you've got young couples just starting a family, can't get a house, nowhere to live, and if they do try and buy a house, the house prices are so expensive because it's the rich who bought all the second homes, so they can just put the price up if they wanted to. Makes no difference to them. So house prices are extortionate, right? Even like council houses and that are a fortune here. So it's just that it's tough. But yes, they do bring money to the area, but it's just that parking's a nightmare, traffic's a nightmare, everything's a nightmare when they come.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's what happens when you set yourself up though as a tourist place.
Yeah.
You set themselves up to catch money, don't they?
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, then you're going to be liable, aren't you? Because all people are going to be doing is taking out, take. They don't want anything into the community other than money.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that as well, though, some of them whinge as well. Prices and that. I remember when I done the removals. I opened a branch in North Wales. This was when I first started seeing the issues, really, because I was playing football with the young lads, just starting to have kids and that, trying to get houses and things like that. I remember going on a survey of this beautiful house, and I went there, and there was this guy, the old bloke, and he was English, second home over. He drove here just to sort of get a quote off me to move him out. And he was like, "Oh, I'm selling up." I was like, "Oh, beautiful house and that." He was like, "I'm selling up. It's boring here." It's like, "It's bloody crap." I was like, "What? Boring?" He said, "Yeah, it's like too dead and that." It's like, and it was just the arrogance of him, the way he was talking, and then there was a riot. Well, it wasn't really a riot. It was a protest going on at the council about all the locals got together to protest about second homeowners. Because it was getting ridiculous. People not just had one, they had like 2, 3, and they were just hiring them all out, like Airbnbs and.
Yeah.
So you got like one person owning 4 houses, but then you've got people who have been on a waiting list for a house for years and still haven't got housing in the area. But you got all these towns, all these villages sat empty. None of the locals can get housing because the rich are just buying all the spare houses.
Yeah, that is the biggest problem in I think in this country is the fact that you've got people buying their own council house, takes it out of the system.
Yeah.
And then you've got nothing.
But why are the council doing that?
Because they've got to. So they pass a law saying no, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You've got to build.
Because
that's why they're not building it. Because as soon as they build something, if you've been in there for 5 years, you can buy it.
Yeah.
And buy it at premium, reduced amount.
Because loads of councils are going bust, aren't they? How can a council go bust? It's crazy that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're going bankrupt. It's like.
The old people, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are they putting the money, man?
It's the baby boomers, isn't it? So my parents' generation.
Yeah.
Are last year, and there's loads of them. So once they've gone out of the equation, they're just a big, absolutely massive. If you look at a graph, there's a massive spike, baby. Yeah. Once they've gone out of the equation, then you're going to be, too many schools, too many facilities,
Yeah.
not enough people. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not, that spike has gone.
That's what they're saying about China, aren't they? It's sort of,
Yeah.
they reckon there's going to be a collapse in like 10 years because there's a huge gap. Because when they brought in the one-child policy type of thing,
Yeah.
there's a huge gap of, so you've got all this workload, and then as the generations come through, all them people who work there die, and the next ones, there's not enough population to cover the workload. I was reading this on what was it? I think it was a Joe Rogan episode. Very interesting, mate. They reckon that they're going to collapse because they just physically haven't got the population to cover the workload to run the country, basically.
Yeah, no longer there, is it?
Yeah.
That's, obviously China's one-kid policy's been in for what, is it 30, 40,
Yeah.
40, 50 years now, isn't it? It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you're just you're not replacing and you're not replenishing, and you're just halving your population, aren't you, all the time?
Yeah.
Which
And
is-
Elon Musk as well says, because we go on about this, oh, we're getting overpopulated. Well, actually, we're meant to be not populating enough, supposedly. Supposedly the population's getting less. Now, I don't know how true this is, but I did see another episode, I think it was Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, and he was going, the biggest worry is not about overpopulation, it's actually underpopulation. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not breeding enough. Especially these days with our society in the UK, you think for young people coming up, nobody gets married anymore, really.
No.
Right? It's all these young Instagram nomads, want to travel, don't want a fella to look after them. It's all about independence and, not have kids, not get married. So, if you think about it, it could actually start happening now.
Well, it's been happening for a bit anyway, hasn't it? Because you've had, people don't have the size of families they used to have.
Yeah.
So that's been reducing. Unless you coming in from certain parts of the world and coming in as an immigrant, you're not going to have a big family. So the indigenous population is not having families. Not having the kids there that you used to have. You're not replenishing your population. And then your inventions, that sort of thing, are based on a critical mass of population. If they don't have that massive population, you won't make the innovations that you were making before.
Yeah.
Because you haven't got those people who will do that work. And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a broad brush.
In a broad brush. Good morning, Vin. Good morning, Krish.
Economics, you know what I mean? So that's where you get. So when the baby boomers go, there'll be loads of schools. There'll be too many schools. And then that's when you're thinking, well, yeah, the people that immigrated here, we need them. Otherwise, we're going to collapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's very complicated.
It is like
Yeah.
above my pay scale, that man. Above my pay scale.
Very, very complicated.
Okay, guys, we've got a 4-hour close in 7 minutes. Now, what I want you to do, if you can, right? What is this music? I want you to watch the stream back from the start. And remember what I said about this 4-hour candle. This 4-hour has not got a bottom wick. So it was difficult taking sells down. And it was difficult taking buys up because we don't know how big this 4-hour is going to be. Or whether it's going to drive. But what tends to happen is when you get a no bottom wick on a candle, the next one tends to be the opposite. So we've had a bearish 4-hour close with no bottom wick. So technically this one should end up being bullish. And look what's happened. We've got 7 minutes. It looks like we are going to close bullish. And that's why we've had to wait for setups basically. Because what did I say about this 4? This 4 might just constantly do this until it closes. Okay. So, and over time you'll start seeing this again. No bottom wick here. New one closed bullish. So now it's a case of, okay, what do we think the new 4 hours going to do? So this is where we've got to look at previous data and go, what's the new 4 hour going to do? So let me get rid of all this. And let's go again. So we'll just do another little top down, but from the 4 hour. So The thing with a 4 hour, the ranges are so all over. So you've got, I mean, if I mark them all up, and if I just mark the tops of all of them, look how small the ranges are on the 4. And that's a nightmare, because at what point, where did we close respecting here? So if we close back in, and if we close back in, the next range is just here. There's not enough range for us to move. Do you know what I mean? So this is why I'm saying these ranges on the 4 are really, really difficult, because you don't know where the next range is, where it's going to go. But what we can do is try to get a feel of where the next 4 is going to go by looking and go, okay, roughly where price is closed. Let's say here. Where's the next 4 gone? Well, the next 4 comes up to 2036, but you come and tap 2038. So could we see a tap of 2038? So we'll just mark that up. Now, do we need to come back down? We've had a forward close back above. The most prominent zone is probably this here. So if we get a forward close back above here, what happens to price? So we had a forward close in, pull back, and then we drove through to 2039 levels. Forward close, pull back to 2031, and then we go. But is that pullback down? You had a forward close, you didn't actually fill the range. So do we need to come and fill this range? At 2036, before coming down, forward close, you do come up to, where did they have that range? There it was. So if we get a forward close back in, technically this would be a fake out, but what I want to see to rule out that it's not a fake out back to the downside, because we don't want that, yeah, we need to rule this out. We need a bottom wick. So if this 4 can open up and pull back first and come and tap, I probably won't take a wing back buy though, because the 4 could flip. Or could we take a wing back buy? We need to come and tap 2032 really again on the 4, and then we can just take a buy stop above. But if this drives up, we might just get something like this coming straight through. They all do tend to come and tap 2039, so I do think you're probably going to come and tap 2039. Pull back. 4, tap 2039. 4, pull back. Potentially could take that wing back, to be fair. So fake out, back in. 4 messes about, next 4 messes about, and then you come back down, tap 2032, and then flip. Drive. Fake out, back in. You don't pull back that much, but you drive back up. So we're going to get this. Back in, pull back. So I am going to need a pullback, but sometimes you don't. If I don't get that pullback, depending on how this 4 opens, guys, depending on whether we're going to catch a trade today. Four in. We don't want to tap 2037. Let me make sure where these are still. Still non-copyright tunes there? YouTube, no copy, no safe music, okay. Okay, let's have a look at this then. So 1 minute for a forward close. Oh, what is this 4 going to do? Now if this 4 closes respecting, then we've got a bit of an issue. Because it means this could be a nest play. I mean, this one closed respecting, I suppose, and still drove. $30 for a close. Now, if the 4 hour, so if this 4 hour can close above, we can go to a lower time frame and see if we can potentially get a wing back buy from 2032 to come up. And then that would be the 4 creating a bottom wick, not breaking the low of the previous wick, but then flip to the upside, looking something like this. And that would be decent for us. Okay, nice forward close now. There's a minor support here, but I think it is just minor. Yes, all the fours should come and tap at least 2036. Okay, so are we going to get a wick fill? 1 hour, 2 hour. What's that doing there? It's opened up with no top wick. Can we pull down? Can we come and tap? We only need a tap 2033. Oh, are we going to pull all the way back down to 2030? We didn't actually come to 2030, did we? One candle came to 2030. I can't do anything until we pull back though. We don't know whether to take wing back from 2033 or potential wing back from 2030. Because we've closed back up. 4's closed bullish. Or is this going to flip now? Because the 4's give a bottom wick with no top wick. I need a steeper pullback, guys. If we get a steeper bottom wick, we could just get a buy stop on the other side, especially if we've got no top wick. But I need a pullback to probably the body of the candle 2033 really. But it could just flip for me and drive. See, I'm just thinking about whether we take a wing back. We could take a wing back, but I don't like the look of the other time frames. What's the 3? Don't the 3? Alright, okay. 3. 15. There is a minor support. Come on, a bit further down. Are we just going to tap this? 2034, we could tap 2034 as well. Unless this 15 is going to close bearish. And then the new 15 pops down, taps at 2033, then it flips. So we've got a little top wick now. We don't want this 4 to drive. If this drives, we've probably missed the move for today. Let's see if we can just get back down to 2033. So I'm probably looking at a wing back buy from 2033, because that would be the forward pullback. I don't. That's the one I don't like. The 2 hour. So that we could just get a wick fill on this 2 hour, which I don't like the look of. But the 3s close bullish, back into the range. The 4s close bullish, back into the range. Do we need to come back up before driving down? Okay, stand by, guys. We've got a potential wing back buy from here. Wing back buy. And this would be the 4 now stops. Where would stops need to be? These 4s have to be below here. That's the thing. Stops are. How big's that? Might be too big, that. Fucking hell. 130 pips. It's because look at this 4. Flies right down, then pulls back and plays out. So we sort of got to cover that. Gonna have to be, guys, fortunately. Four back in. We've got to make sure that this 4 is closed back in the range. That's the thing. Or is this just a pullback close and nest play? Because he's a man of support here. We're going to be aggressive on this as well. No bottom wick on the 5. We're going to be aggressive with the entry on the 5. This is all we can probably really grab at the minute, guys. Not much going on. It's a tough range, like stops in not the best either. It's because you've got such a clean range all the way down. I mean, you could get away with below there at 60 pips, but the safest thing to do is come below here, because you can get one forward candle that pulls all the way down, but you are bullish. So are you going to do that? Target's actually up in, where did we have that area? It was E, wasn't it? Okay, not in yet. Don't know whether to take the wing back or take the buy stop. It's 15 done. 15's got 8 minutes left. The 4. The hour's done it now. So if this hour does flip back up to the upside, are we going to flip and drive? Three no top wick. Can we come back down? I've had no bottom wick on this, so is this 5 going to flip bullish? Come on, can we tap? Can we tap? We've got 2 minutes for a closure. 15 is... I don't like the 15. Because you broke back below on the 15s. Technically, you should be coming back down. I'm not in yet, guys. Because this 15 is broke below here. It's putting me off. Because it means the range on the 15 is this. This is the range on the 15. So technically, we should be coming down to 2036. Can we not just get a buy stop off the hour? What's a 30 done? 30's closed respecting this man and support here. So is the 30 going to close bearish? I need to see. What do I need to see? Okay. Okay, I've not got this on here, guys, but now we've had a pullback. So what we can do, so we've had a bit of a pullback. This wing back's probably not on here. I just want to rule out if we're gonna, the 4 flips, could we just cover the low? Because what would them stops be at that point? 40 pips if this flips. Do we just wait for a 5 close above? 16. It's not even that, is it? It's this. Two minutes for 5 close. This is what I was worried about. Is the 15 going to close down? I think what I want to see, I can potentially get a buy stop on now, but I just want to be careful with the 15, because if 15 closes bearish, the new 15 might come up, activate, then flip. So I don't know whether it'd be better to wait for a 15 close back above 2034 if we're going to get it. This wing back, I didn't really like that wing back in the end. The reason I didn't like it is when I seen this 15. So you've got another support here. If you look at this, it's quite a strong support. The 15, you've had a fake out on the 15 back in. Yeah, what else was there? The 30's closed respecting. The hour, technically, is closed respecting. The 2 closed back in. So if this is going to drive, it's going to drive. But the new 15, the reason I haven't got a buy stop on now, the new 15 might come up, break the highs to then drive back down, which would activate our buy stop. Oh, that 4 is nice though. The 4 is nice. The 4's closed back into the... Well, this is the thing with these ranges on the 4. You don't know if they've closed back in. These are minor support here, but that's from the downside. So you would think you're coming up to tap at least 2036 on the 4. But this is good that you're getting a bottom wick now, because if this is going to flip, it's likely to flip and fill the wick to the upside. So can we just get a buy stop on? And if we can get a buy stop, could we be a bit more aggressive with the stops? And maybe break the low of the 4. $55 maybe. Gives us another chance. Could maybe look at something like... Because is this just a break and retest basically? An S play on the 4? That's what we're trying to work out. Does the daily need a steeper bottom wick? Here's the thing with the daily, you ideally need to be below there. So what is that? I don't know whether to just wait for a close back above 2034. If you close back above 2034 on a 15, you technically should come up to fill the range at 2036. So we're there. 2 hour doing a wick fill. The 1 hour didn't break back into this minor range, but I mean, why didn't this drive? You've got to say, why didn't this carry on driving? Because this wasn't enough liquidity. So you think this is going to flip and come back up? Okay. I mean, we can either get a buy stop off the hour, or we can just wait for 5 close back in, maybe. 5 close back in. I mean, so we're looking at potential buys here, guys. I want to see what this 5 does. Ideally, a 15 would be better. That's 13. Oh, look at the 5. Messing about. Okay, we've had a bullish 5 close. Be interesting to see what this. Oh, the 15's closed. Oh, wait there. So the 15's closed. 30's going to close in 15 minutes. 15's pushing down. No top wick. Is this 15 going to flip to give us a top wick? If that's the case. That's why I didn't take that wing back, guys, because the 15 looks like it's going to come and fill the range, and the 15 range is down here, 2032. So I think, if anything, if we can get a close back above 2034 on the 15, the only thing about the 15 is they can actually drive straight through with 1. You can get some aggressive pushes up on the 15. But if we can get something like this, 15 close back above and then a pull back, we could just take a wing back buy from there, or a buy stop above. What it is, I need to rule out this. The hours close respecting this minor support. I need to rule out that we're not going to get a bearish closure on the hour, and then we just get this to start coming back down a bit of lows. That's all I'm ruling out. Here we go. Look at this. So stand by, guys. Stand by. So if we can get a, what do we want to see? Again, you can power through on the 5s. Yeah, we're gonna flip. Minutes. I ideally want a 15 close above, but it could easily fill the range from these levels. Wait there, what if? What is this little range? Yeah. 15, this would be perfect. 15 close back above, pull back, buy stop up to come up. You actually don't need much of a pullback. If you fill the range with one candle, guys, I'm done for the day. But currently, this 15 looks like it's hovering at the minute. It's sort of just hovering in it. Actually, no, you've got this here. What's this? close respecting. Can the new 15 come and tap? See how we haven't moved out this range. Been in this range all morning. I'm not in a trade fan, no. Do we need to come and tap? That's 20 pips. I need to close back above 34. Okay. What's this 15 gonna do? Not yet. Are you going to the fan zone, Nate? Sorry, mate. I've just seen that message. I'm going to the Forest fan zone on Saturday to watch the match. Yeah, we get a fan zone. Yeah, I wouldn't bother getting a ticket anyway, mate. Just to watch your team get absolutely annihilated. Wouldn't be good. Maybe waste of money. When you go to a game, you want to go to a winning game, don't you? Let's be honest. That's why when we go up to Newcastle, we watch the easy matches. Like Everton and Fulham and Forest, and, you know. So the 15's flipped. This is what I was worried about if we put a buy stop on. This 15 potentially coming back in and catching us. And then a flips and comes to fill the rest of the range. Now what's this for? What's the hour gonna do? What's the 4 gonna do? This wing back buy is potentially on though, 2031. Because if you look at these hours have closed respecting, and then you get a pullback through. And even if you want to drive down, yeah, you still pull back. So we should still be. It's just this. I don't like this. What is this? That's news. Okay. Well, let's disregard that one. So look, wing back. Stops might be a bit tight though for that wing back. I have to go like that. Wing back, draw down, back in. Pips is not bad. So we potentially got a wing back as well, guys, from okay. That's potentially what we've got. If we can get down there. If we break the lows, we can also get a buy stop on the 4 as well at that point. Yeah, you was quite good at home though, aren't you? Yeah, no, mate. Whew. Can we get down? What's the 15 gonna do? Guys, can you understand why I sort of changed my mind? on things. It's someone said it before, can't remember who it was. Said, "Oh, you sort of constantly change your mind all the time." But yeah, it's because I'm reacting to what the market's showing me. I didn't like this buy stop because the 15, I identified that the 15 actually closed back below. If this 15 had closed respecting, then yeah, we could have took this wing back buy back up. Because it closed below, that means the 15's likely going to come down to fill the range at 2032. So why take a wing back buy? I mean, you probably could have got some pips there, but you need to make sure, you need to try to go off the higher time frame, what the higher time frame's going to do, and then go against that really. But now look, we've got potential buy stop above or wing back buy from 2031. But whether this hour can get down, and then is the hour going to flip? That's the thing, because if the hour doesn't flip, this hour will likely probably do something like this really. So it'll push down and then pull back and then break the lows, and then the new hour's likely going to give a top wick and then drive anywhere, because you haven't broken any highs at the moment. Just whether we can get down there. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, get into our Discord so it'll notify you when we're sort of on. But we trade most weekdays from 8 AM UK time. Okay. But if you jump to the... Say again, mate.
Should I give you a like when we get us a trade?
Alright, mate. Yeah. Are you only going to like if we catch a trade?
There we go.
You better log in. You better log in and give me a like. But I appreciate everyone jumping on the streams, man. It's good. I mean, I've traded myself anyway, so... But it's just a lot better to trade with company. It's boring. Trading is boring. We ideally want this 15 to where do we want this 15 to close? The thing is though, if it closes respecting, that would be better, and the new 15 pops down, taps, and then pulls back. But even if it doesn't, you can still sort of get down. But if this 15 can close respecting this, and then the new 15 can pop down and then flip doji or bullish, break the highs, some volume, we'll get something like that. That would be perfect for us. Have we got news today? Oh, FOMC speaks Wednesday today, yeah. Not much on today, nice. Come on, the 15. the sun's out. Come on, is this 15 going to close respect? It doesn't have to, but it'd be better if it did. But it just means the next 15, guys, it might not come down. We could just be getting something like this. We broke out, and then we close back in, close respect, and the next 15 closes bullish. But at that point, that's when we're looking to take these buys up. Okay. But this is why I'd rather wait for a closure above 2034, because if this 15 closes bearish like this, it means the new 15 can come up, create a wick for the previous 15, activate you off the buy stop, and then still flip to the downside to come down to 2030. So I just want to wait for a closure above 2034 before I take buys up. Okay, the 15's closed bearish now. Can we get down with no top wick? One big aggressive push down would be nice. A pump we need. Nice big pump all the way down. Something like this. Are we going to get this? That was the news one, wasn't it? Yeah. Come on, can we get down? So that's a 30 close, isn't it? Oh, right, okay, so the 30s broke out. Yeah, can you see with the 15s why we didn't take that wing back? I mean, it could still play out, to be fair. The 15s broke below this minus, so technically you should be pulling to 2032 on this 15. Can this 30 pop down then for this wing back and then flip bullish? That's what we're after. This 30 to pop down, activate, and flip bullish and close respecting round here. That's all we need. We just need a respecting of this area. So we want this 30 to pop out and close. It can close bearish, to be honest, as long as it's respecting 32.58, and then we can start making our way back up. So that's the first half of the hour. So if this 30 is gonna flip, if the hour is gonna flip, it's gonna do it on this 30-minute candle. So therefore, if we can get a 15 bullish close back above, we just need a bullish 15 close, and then the next 15 should be bullish, and that'll be the hour flipping. If we're gonna get that, we need a 15 close back above 2033. Tough morning there. We haven't done anything. We've literally just we've been in this range. We've not done anything. Can we break the lows? Can the 30 pop down and pop back up? What we want here. So the 30s broke out. This one didn't come down though, did it? Might not even get down there, guys. Likely gonna close back in. Break the highs again. See what this 5 does. 5 close back up. I ideally need a 15 close back above 2033. If this hour closes bearish, guys, I'll probably call it, really, because it's because the 4 hour is bullish. So if it closes bearish, it just means the next hour could push down to create a steeper bottom wick for the 4, but the 4 could still flip to the upside at any point. So you're having to wait another couple of hours really for a potential setup. So there's just no point. So 11 o'clock we will probably call it. I'm trying to see if we can get a 15 close back above here, because if you close back above here, you struggle to break these lows again. That means this wasn't enough liquidity, because you didn't even break the highs. So you're going to have to break this, and if you're going to break that, you're likely going to break this as well. So if we can get a 15 close back above, get a bottom wick, maybe buy stops above, potentially, even though this 15's broke the lows at the minute, you see. The 30 can just close anywhere out around here though. So we'll be aiming for a 30-minute fake out back in. Get a 30-minute fake out back in. Oh well, yeah, that's the last 30 of the hour, isn't it? I mean, if you're into this type of stuff, have a bit of a breakout, back below, test, didn't drive, back up, tap in. Need a closure back above here. Come on, the 15, get in there. 2 5-minute candles left of this 15. The 5s can actually power through as well. But this 5's closed respecting, so you haven't had it hasn't given you any indication yet. And to be honest, you do go through cycles where price will close respecting zones and then absolutely power through the next zone. So you can get that as well, where you're just missing trades, you just can't get in because you're not getting them little breakouts. Not enough pips in there. See, we don't want to get this, otherwise we're just going to be messing about. Don't want to get this mess. These are 15-minute candles. We want a nice little 15-minute break in with the top wick, and then we want to pull back. potentially just get that buy stop above on 2034.43. Now, because the 15 has closed, it's 15's closing bloody. Very boring, isn't it, trading? Very boring. Look at the 15 flipping back to the downside. Is this the 30 going to pop down? Is this 30 going to pop down, tap, pull back? If we do get activated on this, guys, we are aggressively moving stops. We'll probably be moving stops at 2031. Well, ooh, maybe 10 pips. But we've got to make sure you've got 20 minutes for the hour close now. So here's another thing: if the 30 does come down, yeah, it's likely going to close bearish. And if it closes anywhere down here, that means the hour is now broke out to the downside. So you're now then probably going to get a top wick and then a flip to come back down. So we really need to get activated on this hour. Ideally, this 30-minute needs to do it, and it's got quite a way to go, really. I mean, how big's this? 20 pips, not too bad. So we sort of need to get activated on this because we need the hour to close respecting. Yeah. Need this hour to close respecting. So if we can just pop down on this 30, fantastic. 2 seconds. You're in a cell, Haroon. Well done. Good luck, mate. Good luck. What's a 15 done? 15 closed doors, you know, bottom way. Tough, tough guys. Because this is the last 15 of the hour. Probably, unless this 15 is going to pop down, but just can't see it popping down that far. I mean, it could do. Could do, I suppose. But there's not enough volume here. You haven't broken any highs to drive down. Guys, it might be another no trade here, you know, fortunately. 15's flipped to the downside. Because if this hour doesn't break out, close respecting, you haven't even broke out, you're stuck in this range here. You've got another day of just meaning. Because you're likely then going to get a top wick and then come back down off the hour. But then the 4 can flip at any point because you don't know if this 4 is broke back into the range or whether it's close respect. And if it's close respect, then yeah, this 4 should dry. But you haven't got a top wick on this 4 either. And I don't really think this is enough liquidity for this to drive all the way down. I think you're going to have to come and break this high. So you've got contradictions all over the place here. The only thing I've got here is a swing back, because if this hour, but this hour's got to do it really. If this hour doesn't do it, it means the new hour could power through. I mean, I'll say that this hour broke below and then the new hour came down. See how you're going to power down with the next hour. Probably not going on here, you guys. This hour doesn't look like it's going to pop down. And then you might get an hour close bearish, and then another hour it still doesn't get down, and you maybe mess about like this. It takes a couple more hours to get down. I'll give it till 11. See how this hour closes. Well, we're pushing light. We've got some volume. Are we pushing far enough? Yeah, it is choppy, mate. It is choppy. We haven't done anything. We've done nothing. We've just came up, top of the range, back down. We're at the bottom of the range now. We haven't had a breakout or nothing like that. Probably New York will push out, but I don't like to trade after 11 really. I like to be done. Can this 15? If this 1 15-minute candle can pop down and activate it, yeah, I'll take it. Because you're likely going to pull back. At least come and test 2032. And we just be aggressive with stops, as in move stops fairly quick. What's whether it's going to pop down. Come on now. Five minutes for the close, guys. I mean, they broke all the laws, really. Well, you haven't brought this law. This is 4 going to power down. Because here's the thing, even if you get an hour close here, it doesn't mean it's going to drive. You can easily just come back up. So that's what I'm saying. You could get an hour close thinking, okay, well, we'll take sales down, but the hour's closing in areas where you can just clearly just reject from and come back up. You've already tapped this once, 2030. Well, you've tapped 2031.39, and with this one, I mean, you could say, well, you need to tap 2031.09 before driving back up, but I mean, this one hasn't done it. This one's done it. So does one of them have to do it? But why didn't these drive? Why didn't these drive? Probably because there's not enough liquidity. But then we came back up for liquidity, but we didn't break any highs. We only came there. So you can't really see this driving. It's probably a no trade for me, guys. Well, we'll see how this hour opens up. We'll see how this hour opens up. Another tough day, man. Well, actually, I say tough day. Yesterday was pretty decent. We had a potential buy straight away, fairly early on, and then we got a second trade. So yesterday wasn't too bad. Today, it was a little set up this morning, but it wasn't 100% for me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because remember, the 4 can still flip to the upside. So if the hour opens up and comes, because you've now had an hour bearish close, the hour can flip to the downside. So again, you got contradiction. The 4 could flip and drive, but you don't want to take any win back sells because the 4 could flip to the upside, right? But the 1 hour should come up, create a top wick, and then flip to the downside. So really difficult at the minute. What are we doing? There's the hour close. What's this new hour gonna do? I mean, if this hour aggressively pushes down to 2031, potentially yes, as long as it's got no top wick, because the previous hour hasn't got a top wick either. Our close back. Are you going to get... See, this is what you could be getting. Our close up. Our close back down. Our close back up. Our close back down. We're just in a minging area, guys. See what this hour does here. I mean, if we can pop down with one 15-minute candle, potentially. I'll see what this 15 does, and then I'm going to call it if we don't get down on this 15 at 2031. If this creates a top wick, I'm done. So if we get a top wick on this hour, I'm done. Whoa. Yeah. I mean, look at that, man. Look at that. The last three. See if it pushes again. I don't have much of a top wick. Because remember, we've got no top wick on this one. driving. Right. Right guys, I am done. I'm done. There's nothing here for me. We've got far too many contradictions on off the hour, the 4 hour, and you'd need more. I mean, that's all we've done this morning. That these are higher time. These are 1 hour candles. We've done absolutely nothing. See, the 1 hour should flip to the downside, but the 4 should flip to the upside. So which direction? You've got no direction. To be honest, we haven't even got that much volume. And two things we need for trading is direction and volume, and we haven't got either. So I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. I'll be back on tomorrow, 8 o'clock, and hopefully we can catch some pips from there. But other than that, guys, this wing back buy is not even on for me either. I'll probably check New York. I'll drop in the trade ideas if I do catch something, but I'd need another hour close, and I'd want an hour close. Even if you take an hour close below this, you've still got to be careful because you can just easily come back up. So you're probably best off waiting for the 4 hour close to see if the 4 is going to be bearish or if the 4 is going to flip. Yeah, so you're looking at another 3 hours really to really get some direction. Okay, so any questions before I go, guys? No? Lovely. Okay, right, I'll catch you all later. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.